Hello, in this video I will show you how to set up normal maps and height maps in Substance Designer in a way that works, because as I'm learning it I got stuck at this problem in that height maps weren't rendering properly and I wasn't able to figure out how to do this for a long time. So let's get started. Create a new substance. I am going to create empty graph template so that we would be able to set up a material from scratch. I am going to create tile sampler node that will be the basic texture for us to turn into normals and into a height map. And now if I want to render this height map into the material, I need to create a couple of output nodes. Output nodes are what connect the textures that you have in the graph to the material. I will create output node, and let's say, well, first of all, to show you how it works, I will create base color. I will use uniform color and we'll use it as a base color to give you an idea how it works. So this color will be something like orange, and if I want to use this output in this material, I will right click view in 3D view, and if you just click on the empty space, you can select view all outputs in 3D view to update all of the outputs. But if you click on one of the outputs, it's a cool trick, and select view in 3D view, you can select as what kind of texture you want to use this as. So here I will use as base color or diffuse, and now it's automatically updated in 3D view, and now this material is using this uniform color as its diffuse color. So now I would like to do the same thing for normals, which is pretty straightforward. First of all, I will create a normal node, and this node will convert this black and white texture into normals. When I double click on the texture, it opens it in this view. Excellent, so these are our normals, and to connect them I will create one more output, right click, view in 3D view, normal, and connect it. Great, so now it is used as a normal material. Beautiful. So now it sets up normals for us. The next step is to add height map. In other software it will be called displacement. So I'm going to create a node called normal to height over here, and this node will convert a normal map into a height map. And once again, output use as height map in this case, and I will connect it. Except it doesn't work. Why is that? So as you can see, there are still normals over here, but there is no displacement because edges are smooth and they do not move the actual geometry of the object. So here's the actual point of this tutorial: how we set up a displacement to work properly. To do that, you go to materials in the 3D view, default, and edit. Here you can select the scale of by default the scale is set to 0, but if you set it to 1 it will be using the height map as the height map of this material, except that as you can see still it doesn't work at all. So this was my stumbling block, and to solve it you need to go to material, default, definitions, the shaders that you're using, and switch from parallax occlusion to tessellation. That will actually create geometry for your height map. Now in materials default edit, you will still be able to see, well, first of all you will be able to see the scale. As you can see now it does something over here. So now the edges actually have some kind of a displacement on them, and it got a little bit slower because it's actually generating geometry as far as I can tell, but here it's a little bit rough and doesn't look very good. And this is where tessellation factor comes in. This parameter only appears after you have switched to tessellation from parallax occlusion. Other parallax occlusion also does some kind of height mapping, but I think it's using OpenGL, or I don't know how it works, but basically it doesn't do true displacement, but tessellation does. And here you can just increase resolution to increase the quality of displacement. So I will set something like 512, and now it will think for a while and it will be much better, much higher quality. Beautiful. So it's much slower, but it is doing our displacement. So this is what I wanted to show you in this tutorial. So the first thing to remember is that right click on the output and view in 3D allows you to select as what kind of texture it's going to be plugged in into the material, and then in materials you switch to tessellation to enable true displacement, and in edit you set a tessellation factor to increase the resolution and scale to increase the impact of this displacement. Great. I'm also going to just experiment with some noise, maybe like grunge map, like so. I just want to see how it looks like, because I'm still playing around with this thing and it's really cool and I'm having a lot of fun. It's like Houdini for textures. It's absolutely crazy. I'm loving it. So I will plug it in and let's see what happens. So now it's doing displacement for this thing. Pretty cool. Alright, I hope this video was useful to you, and I'll see you in the future.